Sister Laila live. Sister Laila live. Weekly for the show at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila. Invite your friends and family. Get cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Whoever's doing this. And by the way, what are you getting up here today? Let's talk about it.
Any other questions?
This is gonna be good.
Welcome to Ask Sister Laila Live. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Inna alhamdulillah. Wassalam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody to the Ask Sister Laila Live show. This is where you come in and type your questions about Islam, and inshallah, yeah, I see the background. Hold on. And inshallah, I'll try to answer your questions. And there's several different ways in which you can get your questions asked. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me to change the background. There are several different ways you can get your questions asked. If you are on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, which is X now, or Twitch or Rumble, all you have to do is type your question on the screen. And inshallah, I'll be able to see it and I'll be able to, inshallah, answer it. Okay? You can also ask your question by simply, wait a minute, I'm trying to fix this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing 3 things at one time. You can also ask your question by coming into the Zoom room. If you would like to join, okay, I don't know why it's doing that. If you'd like to join our Zoom room, you can just simply go to www.sunnahfollowers.net, and that will inshallah bring you into our Zoom room, and then you can type your question to me. Sister, my regular person that takes my questions is she's not here today. Why come that's not turning purple? Can somebody tell me why the well, we'll keep it black for the day, but it's not turning purple. Okay, but you can join our Zoom room and type your question there, and inshallah, I'll answer it. You can send it to me, and this is the Zoom room that y'all see in the background. And the Zoom room can be accessed by going to www.sunnahfollowers.net. You guys see that? That's what that globe is. That globe with the address, that's how you access our Zoom room. Or you can go to www.sunnahfollowers.net and you can click on the chat button. The chat button will send a message directly to our our WhatsApp group. Or you can call in your question. And what's the call-in number, guys? You guys remember? 8 what? Anybody here got the call-in number? Mina.
862.
What is it?
862. 70.
Okay.
2838.
Okay, 2838. Let me put that there. Hold on. Bang. There it is. That's our call-in number. 862-370-2838. If you dial that number, it'll bring your question in to us. I do have moderators on standby to take the calls. What else I got here? Okay, hold on. Is something else that's supposed to be put on here? I see. Okay, thank you for telling me what's wrong. I didn't do this. There's the purple. There you go. That's the call-in number. And you can call in using WhatsApp too. So, any questions you have, just type them on the screen and just don't be afraid to ask. And if it's something that I cannot answer, I can call Sheikh Morsi, who will be able to answer. He's always on standby on Fridays for the Q&A. So don't be afraid to type whatever it is that you need to know. And also something that I want to talk about that's really serious. I'm getting ready to get really serious now because we have a problem as a nation. As you guys know, we have a lot of new converts, new shahadas coming here to learn Islam and its truthfulness from me. And I've been teaching Islam all my life, but I've never experienced the type of comments that so many new shahadas are sharing with me now. Here in America, a lot of people are telling me how when they convert to Islam, the imams of the masjids that they're going to, these certain people, wherever mosque they attend, the imams are more concerned with them taking shahada than they are about them practicing, it seems. Because there's a few brothers, I got several brothers here, they're with us now, who have told me that when they took their shahada, one of them sells drugs. He said that the imam told him, don't worry about it. You know, if that's the only way he can earn his income, continue to sell drugs until he can find a job. Islam was revealed in stages, and they take this verse, whereas the hadith where Aisha radiallahu anha, she says if the religion had been sent down first, saying if Allah had sent down the prohibitions first, no one would have converted. They play on that hadith. They're telling these new shahadas that don't worry about what's haram right now. What you need to focus on is learning how to pray, learning how to do your obligations of prayer. That's not correct, guys. That is not correct. And then we have like some of the sisters here, they convert to Islam. They're living with non-Muslim men. They're married to Kafir men. And these sisters are telling me that when their imams gave them shahada, the imam said, don't worry about the fact that you living with a Kafir man and married to a Kafir man. It took 23 years for the Quran to be revealed. Just focus on converting to Islam. I don't know where these imams get this garbage from, but that is not Islam. I want you guys to know that Allah commands us in the Quran that when you enter into Islam, you have to enter into it wholeheartedly. We have to enter Islam wholeheartedly. That means sincerely and willing to accept everything that Allah commands us to do without question. You don't pick and choose what parts of the religion that you're going to live by. If that's the case, then you're wasting your time. You know, you have to accept this deen wholeheartedly, completely. We don't pick and choose like the Christians. Okay? So this seems to be a big problem that we're facing as a ummah. These imams are leading you guys to the gates of hell. Anyone that told you that there's a grace period for you women who are not covering up, you women that are living with non-Muslim men, you're committing some serious sins. You know, there's no such thing as a grace period in Islam. Once you accept La ilaha illallah, you have to practice this religion in its totality. You have to stop fornicating. You have to stop doing drugs. You have to stop drinking. You have to start making your prayers immediately. You have to cover and dress the way Allah commands. You have to behave the way Allah commands. You have to bathe, use the bathroom the way Allah commands us to do it. You know, so I don't know where these imams are getting this crap from. And I don't know where, you know, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. but it's wrong. Okay, do we have any questions in the Zoom room? By the way, any questions in the Zoom room? Because, you know.
No questions yet, Sister Laila.
Okay, any questions in the Zoom room, y'all can just type them. And for the people on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, y'all can type, okay, the brother is here. Okay, you want me to explain that? Okay, here's a brother from, well, I got his message off of YouTube. He says that he watched my short. He said, I watched the short that you did on love and hate. So Islam teaches us to hate. Yes, Islam teaches us to hate everything that Allah hates. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will never be a true believer until you love the things that Allah loves and you hate the things that Allah hates. Just like love is a part of faith, so is hate. And Allah tells us in the Quran that he hates everything that he made unlawful. Allah hates lying. Allah hates cheating. He hates intoxicants. He hates nakedness. He hates profanity. He hates dishonesty. He hates sodomy. So we have to hate all those things too. So hate is a part of faith. And that's what's meant when we say to hate for the sake of Allah. What's the difference between loving and loving for the sake of Allah? What's the difference between hate and hating for the sake of Allah? Well, personal hate is personal. But when we hate for the sake of Allah, it's not personal, it's business. I may like you as a person. I may even respect you as a person. But the simple fact that you sell drugs, this is something bad. This is something dirty. This is something that Allah hates. Allah hates for us to sell drugs. So I hate this too. That's hating for the sake of Allah. It's when you put aside your personal feelings and instead see what Allah likes and what Allah dislikes. Does everybody get it? The same with love. Personal love is not the same as loving for the sake of Allah. If I love you for the sake of Allah, this is better because I put aside my personal likes and instead I look at you and see the things about you that Allah likes. Allah likes honesty. Allah likes cleanliness. Allah likes truthfulness. Allah likes politeness. So I look at you and love and like these things too. That'll cause me to overlook my personal dislikes about maybe you belch. Maybe you belch out loud. Or maybe when you cough, you don't cover your mouth. That's something that I hate. But I can put all that to the side and look at you and see the beautiful things within you that Allah likes. And I love you for the sake of Allah for that reason. Well, that's the same with hate. Put aside my personal hates. I hate the fact that your hair is short, but your hair is clean. Your hair is well groomed. And Allah loves cleanliness. Allah loves well groominess. So I put aside my personal dislike and I look at you and see you as Allah would see you. I love the fact that your hair is short and clean and neat and tidy. Do you guys see that? So yes, brother, hate is a part of faith. And as the Prophet Muhammad said, you will never be a true believer until you love what Allah loves and hate what Allah hates. And Allah knows best. Do you understand now? Hate may be a bad word to you, but perhaps you dislike something that Allah takes more seriously. You understand? If we all would condition ourselves to love and hate what Allah hates, we'd be better people. It'd be a better world. Yes. So again, Allah knows best. Exactly. Yeah. Any other questions? Any in the Zoom? Nothing in the Zoom yet? Okay, go ahead, sister. Type yours here. Okay, this sister is typing. She said, I'm trying to get a better understanding. Go ahead. She said, I love my mother because she's my mother. But I hate the fact that my mother does not believe in Allah. I hate the fact that my mother speaks badly of our prophet. Would this be an example? Yes, exactly. You know, you love your mother because that's your mother. What person wouldn't love their mother? But you look at your mother and see within her qualities that Allah does not like. She doesn't believe in him. She doesn't believe in his messenger. Okay? So you hate that about her too. That's hating for the sake of Allah. You can love your mother and hate her for the sake of Allah. Exactly. You can love your children, but still hate them for the sake of Allah too. I can love a husband and hate him for the sake of Allah. When we say for the sake of Allah, we're hating what Allah hates within them. It's not personal. It's business. Does that make sense? You got it. What about for you guys in the Zoom room? Does it make sense to you guys, Sister Laila and the rest of y'all in there? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, Islam is different. Yeah, a lot of you come from Christian backgrounds and you were taught that all this love, God is love and all of that. You know, yeah, Allah does love, but Allah hates too. Allah says in the Quran, he hates everything that he made unlawful. And of all the things that he hates, the thing he hates the most is for us to speak about him without knowledge. That's another verse where Allah says that he hates. Exactly. Okay, she's now asking, why is it that these other people don't break this down to us this way? Why is it, Sister Laila, that you're the only one that speaks this way? I don't know. Ask Allah. I don't know. She said, it's not that I don't believe you, because you always quote from the Quran. You always give evidence. She said, but why is it that the others are not speaking this way? I don't know. We're living in the days of fitan. We're living in the days what the prophet warned of, where truth will appear to be falsehood. The days in which falsehood will appear to be truth. The days in which the truthful people will be taken as liars, and the people that are liars will be taken as scholars amongst you. These are the days of fitan that our prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned of. I don't know why they don't teach right. Maybe they don't know how to teach right, or maybe they don't care. I don't know. I'm only held accountable for me. And when you guys come to me, I'm going to give you the bitter truth. Like I said in that Don't Get It Twisted session. You know, the truth is always and has always been a bitter pill to swallow. It's easy to swallow some falsehood. So I don't know why they don't teach this way. But they can't refute me, because I'm taking it straight out the Quran and the I don't know. Nothing's in the Zoom room still? Okay, go ahead for you guys here. Go ahead. This is the Reddit group. You're one of the new shahadas from the Reddit group. Go ahead. Okay, this brother here is asking, what about this if you first convert to Islam and you don't have a job? All you got is the haram income. Brother, we've talked about that. You choose to earn your income from haram sources because there are other ways. Like she said, anybody can become. You got a car, don't you? The drugs that you sell, you bought. I'm pretty sure that you driving a nice car, right? I don't know no doughboy that ain't got no car. That's the first thing the doughboys get is a car, right? You got a ride, you got a car. Just tell me, do you have a car? Of course you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a doughboy. Well, you can take that car and become an Uber driver. Oh, yeah. Good money Ubering. And by the way, you work your own hours. A Uber driver works his own hours. Mm-hmm. And you pick up some good money. Oh, yeah. Or you can become a door dasher. They need dashers all the time. Or you can be an Instacarter. Oh, yeah. And those type of jobs, you are your own boss. You work your own hours and you can make as much money as you want. Just like you ride the streets selling them drugs, well, you can ride the streets delivering or giving people rides. And it's good money. So I don't want to hear about how you don't have no other sources. No, there's other sources available. It's just that that's the problem with man. Allah speaks in the Quran about man and el-asr, how we're so hasteful. It's all about we want everything now. You know, we're quick. You know, we're impatient. Okay, we think we're going to live forever and we're impatient. We want that fast money, quick money. We don't want to work for it. You're choosing to sell drugs. You don't have to. It's a lifestyle that appeals to you. Remember, the soul, Allah says in the Quran that the soul is criminal by nature, and the soul is attracted to everything that's bad for it. You're attracted to that fast money. You're attracted to that lifestyle, the doughboy lifestyle. You need to change. You're Muslim now. How long you been Muslim? 3 months? You're a new Shahada. You better make that change right now. Give up the drugs. Which of the favors of your Lord will you deny, Aqi? As Allah says in the Quran, just because you say you believe in me, do you think I'm not going to test you in it? Islam is all about sacrificing for the sake of Allah. Just like we love for the sake of Allah. We hate for the sake of Allah. We sacrifice for him too. Are you willing to sacrifice that fast money for Allah? Whatever we give up for the sake of Allah, Allah will replace it with something better. You can start off as an Uber driver, a door dasher, and then Allah will send a job to you that you never thought you could get from lawful sources. But you have to take that step to give it up. And that's what the Imam of your masjid should have been telling you. Because that's what Allah says in the Quran. Yeah, you got to give it up. Yes, you can get a job working at McDonald's. You can get a job working in Burger King. You can get a job working at Costco's, Walgreens, Walmart. You can get a job cleaning. Cleaning. All of that is lawful. But it's not lawful for you to kill people. It's not lawful for you to poison people. And that's what you're doing, selling them drugs. You're killing people. You're poisoning people. You harming people. And all them people are going to testify against you when you in that grave. Let me make it real for you. Man always thinks he's going to live forever. When you end up in that grave, all them people you poisoned, all them people you killed, selling that dope to them, they going to testify against your behind. It's called settling the scores on the day of judgment. You got to cross that Sirat bridge, and you got to settle the scores with all the people you harmed in this world. How many lives have you taken selling drugs? You said you never thought about it like that? That's the problem. That's how you got to start thinking. You're a Muslim now. We think. You're going to have to start thinking now. And get rid of that lifestyle. Where you live at? It figures. East Coast. A lot of dope boys where you live. A lot of graves too, ain't it? A lot of prisons too. Ain't Milan up in there? The life of a dope man is 3 years. Either you dead or you behind bars. You better make that change, bro. That's what the Imam should have been telling you. Life ain't guaranteed. Allah can take your soul tonight. You can get up, go out to make a run, and somebody bust a cap up in you. And bang, bang, it's over. And then when them angels pull your soul, they'll be telling you, Sister Laila Nashiba told you. Didn't Allah send messengers? Don't say he didn't, because Laila Nashiba said he and told you. Exactly. So get rid of the dope and go get a job as an Uber driver or something until something else comes up. And Allah knows best, dude. Yeah. Any questions in Zoom? I got the dopers in here. The dope boys. Why you brothers don't join the brother streams and ask these questions too? By the way, let me ask you brothers a couple of things. Let me just out of my own curiosity. What's up? We got all these men streaming on social media. Do y'all go to them and ask them these questions? He said, yeah, they never answer. He said, not like you do. Well, that's a sad state that we in, ain't it, guys? Yeah. All right, any other questions? Enough of the dope. Dope boys, get a life. Yeah, go ahead, sister. Yes, go ahead. That's a good question. Go ahead. About the prayer. Go ahead. Yeah, the how to pray class. Yeah, go ahead. Let me see. What did you do? How did you do it? Okay, she's asking about the Sunnah prayers. Let's see. Wait for her to type it. Okay, she said, I prayed 2 rakats before the Adhan. And then I prayed 2 rakats after the Adhan. And then I prayed my Dhuhr prayer. Okay, I'm following. Just take your time. And then I prayed 2 more. Was that the 6 rakats? No. No. Remember we talked about the other day, sister. Remember I told you every prayer has its fixed time. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said each prayer begins when the adhan is called for it. And it ends when the adhan is called for the next prayer, except for Fajr. Okay? So you do not make any of the sunnah rakats for any prayer until after the adhan for that prayer has been called. Okay? You said here that you prayed 2 rakats before the adhan. That doesn't count, because the sunnahs of dhuhr have to be prayed when the time for dhuhr comes in. And as we said, the time for each prayer begins when the adhan is called. You got it? Okay. So when the adhan for dhuhr is called, that's when you, if you want to make the 6 rakats or whatever you want to make the sunnahs can be 2 rakats before, or it can be 4 rakats before dhuhr. You got it? Then you pray your dhuhr prayer. And then afterwards, you can either pray 2 rakats after or 4 rakats after. You got it? Wa alaikum salam, Sister Musima. You got it? Wa alaikum salam, Adam. Yes, so you messed up only with the 2 rakats before. Remember, I want all the new shahadas, I want y'all to remember, you wait till the adhan has been called for whatever prayer it is before you pray the sunnahs. Okay? After the adhan, that's when you pray your sunnahs, not before it. So that's the only thing you did wrong. Okay? You got it? Yeah, and don't worry about it. Allah knows your intentions. I'm going to tell you something. We talked about Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim, how Allah is so merciful. Allah is so merciful that he gave you the reward because he knew that your intentions were to do something to please him. So even though you prayed those 2 rakats before it's time, Allah still gave you that reward, inshallah, based on your intentions. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just know now that you know, because you didn't know, now that you understand, don't do it again. Now that you understand how the sunnahs are performed, pray them correctly now. You got it? Okay. Allah knows best. Okay, let's see what else. I got nothing in Zoom still, right? Okay, let me go to here. What's this here? Let me read this. What are the rules of combining prayers? Okay, what do you mean by the rules? You want to know which prayers can be combined? Okay, the prayers that are combined are the dhuhr prayer with the asr prayer, and the maghrib prayer with the isha. But you cannot just combine when you want to. There has to be a reason for it. If you're traveling, for example, you can combine dhuhr with asr, or you can pray asr with dhuhr at the time of asr. And you can combine maghrib and isha if you're traveling, or if you're sick. If you're sick, like my mother is, my mother had back surgery. You know, it's hard for her to even move. So you can combine. She combines her dhuhr and asr and her maghrib and isha. Or if the weather is bad outside, for the brothers, you know, the imam can combine the prayers at the mosque. He can combine dhuhr with asr and maghrib with isha. So it has to be a reason. You can't just do it out of laziness. All right. I hope that answers your question because you didn't tell me how. No, combine does not mean shorten. Combine means to put two things together. So if I am going to combine Dur and Asr, I'm going to pray my 4 rakats Dur, then I'm going to give salams, then I'm going to call the Adhan, and I'm going to pray my 4 rakats Asr. You do not shorten. Okay, shortening is when you're traveling. If I'm traveling, I can shorten. And the only prayers that can be shortened are my Dur and Asr. Instead of praying 4 rakats, you'd pray 2. Okay, and Isha would be 2. But that's when you're traveling. If you are at home and you're combining, you pray the regular rakats. You pray the 4 rakats of Dur, and then you call the Iqamat and you pray the 4 rakats of Asr. If you're going to combine Maghrib with Isha, you pray the 3 rakats of Maghrib, and then when you're done, you give salams and call the Iqamat and pray the 4 rakats of Isha. Shortening is when you're traveling. Shortening and combining are not the same. But of course, there's always exceptions to everything, but basically that's your answer. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, Brother Adam, he says, I have real issues. It's driving me crazy. I'm trying really hard to resist. I am trying hard to be strong. Brother Adam, it's best for you to pray for yourself. A woman came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari. A woman came to the Prophet. She said, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, I'm having some real bad problems. Please pray for me." He said, "I could pray for you, but let me tell you something that's better." He said, "It would be better if you pray for yourself, because you know what your problems are better than I do. And only you know them better than I do. So it would be better if you pray for yourself, Brother Adam. Because, see, we don't know what your issues are. I don't know what you're dealing with. See you. Okay, what about the Zoom room? Any questions in the Zoom room?
Yeah, one question. A sister wants to know on Friday when it's time to do her at home, can she pray as soon as the Adhan is called or wait until the Juma Khutbah is over?
Wait, hold on for once. Let me see that baby. Bring it, the baby here. Okay. Hold on for 1 second. Let me see. I haven't seen this baby. Hey! Assalamu alaikum. What's wrong with your hair? Why are you crying? You crying? You crying? Oh, you crying? Look at there. You crying? That baby crying. That baby crying. I know. No, you got so big. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Say, Grandma saw the. Yeah, Grandma saw the watching. You got that baby crying. Here, take the baby. Take the baby. She crying. That one with the roll on top, that's mine. The other one is yours. Okay. I'm sorry. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Okay, no, but the question was, a sister wants to know on Friday when it's time for Dhuhr at home, can she pray as soon as the Adhan is called or wait until the Juma Khutbah is over?
Oh, okay. Yes, you can pray as soon as the Adhan is called if you want to. I want you guys to know, this is another good question. For the new Shahadas, you cannot pray. I repeat, you cannot pray. I repeat, you cannot pray behind the imam on the internet. In order to pray, don't let her cry. In order to pray behind the imam, you have to be at the mosque in person with him. So we listen to the khutbah. We get the blessings as Muslim women. We get the blessings of listening to the khutbah, but we do not follow them in prayer. If you want to make the salat as soon as the adhan is called, you can, or you can make it anytime until the adhan for the next. She won't let me touch her.
She ain't seen me.
You ain't seen me. She come here. You
She
know.
ain't gonna go nobody me because she ain't seen me.
Yes, I see. Oh, look at her trying to walk. You trying to walk? I see you walking. Oh, look at her. Yeah, take her. I don't want her to cry. Yeah, so I want all the new shahadas to know you cannot pray on the internet with the imam. Okay? You have to be at the mosque with him, but you're getting the blessings of listening to the khutbah. But yes, you can pray after the adhan, or you can pray anytime until the adhan for Asr. And Allah knows best. Yeah, that's a good question too for the new shahadas. Yes, go ahead, Sister Tiffany. Go ahead. Type your question. Oh, right. No Sunnahs. Okay, she asked, she said, I want to get this right, Sister Laila. No Sunnah rakats of Asr. Right, no Sunnah rakats. Now, we talked about that the other day. When you guys read Sahih Muslim, Imam Muslim, in his collection, you will come upon hadiths that say that this companion or one companion will say, I saw the Prophet performing 2 rakats after the adhan for Asr. You will see another hadith in Sahih Muslim, I saw the Prophet performing 4 rakats after the adhan for Asr. Then you will see another hadith in Sahih Muslim where another companion said, I saw the Prophet Muhammad prayed Asr with us, and then afterwards he performed 2 rakats. Then you will see, because it's 5 hadiths. Then you will see another hadith that says the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed the Asr prayer with us, and then 2 after. There are no Sunnahs for Asr. This is why when it comes to the hadith, we use the same science that's used with the Quran. You have to know the science of connectivity. Those are just statements from what people saw. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in Sahih Bukhari, you will find those same companions making those statements. And then you will find the Prophet responding. One companion said, "O Prophet of Allah, why did you pray?" No, in fact, it was Salama, his wife, Salama. She said, "You prayed 2 rakats after the adhan for Asr. Has Allah added sunnahs?" The Prophet said, "No, I am praying these 2 rakats because these are the 2 rakats of dhuhr that I was unable to make, and I don't want to miss them because I love to pray them." And then the other hadiths of other companions saying they saw him praying 4 rakats after Asr. You find this whole story there in Bukhari too, where the Prophet said, "These 4 rakats are the rakats that I prayed for dhuhr, that I was unable to pray because I was busy passing out charity." And then there's another hadith, you'll find it in Bukhari and Muslim, where a companion said, "O Prophet of Allah, why did you pray the 2 rakats after the adhan for Asr?" He said, "Between every adhan and every iqamat are 2 voluntary prayers if you want to pray them." So there's a reason. You have to know the science of connectivity to connect those hadiths together. Otherwise, you'll be telling people that there are sunnah rakats for asr when there are not. The Prophet, with those rakats, he was making up his dhuhr sunnahs, or he was praying the 2 rakats between adhan and iqamah that every prayer has. Allah knows best. Okay? So we have to know that science. All right, let's see. Here's another question. Sister Laila, my husband wakes my 15 and 17-year-old to pray Fajr and remind them to pray their daily prayer. But I don't know if they wake up to pray Fajr and if they do their... Okay, well, remember, Allah doesn't hold us accountable, Sister Rifi. Allah doesn't hold us accountable for what we don't know. Your husband did his job. That's your job. You and your husband did your job. You woke them up to pray. Your 15-year-old and your 17-year-old, they are both puberty. They are men. They're held accountable for their own sins now. You and your husband, y'all did your job. Y'all did your job and told them, get up and pray. Now, if they didn't pray, that's between them and Allah. And Allah will throw it back up to them. Allah will say to them, your mother and father woke y'all up. Why didn't you pray? So don't feel bad. They should feel bad, not you. Your 2 sons should feel bad if they're not praying it after being awakened. Okay, so don't feel bad. You and your husband are doing your job. Alhamdulillah. Allah knows best. Any questions? Go ahead.
We have a question off of Twitch. It says, Assalamu alaikum, sister. I would appreciate if you can teach me how to pray and understand Islam better. I was born into Islam and I fell off my deen and would like to learn. Everyone tells me different things and I do not know, and not to believe others. So I would like to learn from you, being that you are a reliable source.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Join my classes every day. I teach the most important class is my Aqidah class. I teach every day at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the class that's going to give you what you need to get in paradise. That's Aqidah. That's belief. She's really attached to you, isn't she? That's the Aqidah that you need to get into paradise and get through that grave. So join my classes every day at 6:30 p.m. and make sure you buy the book. Buy the books that I use for all the class, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid's, where I teach all of Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid's books and also Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. But I'll give you the books when you come into class tomorrow, the link to Amazon. So just join my classes every day. And I do have a schedule on Twitch, right? Is my schedule there? For those of you on Twitch, I think I got a schedule posted, don't I, y'all? What is that rumble? Yeah, isn't there a schedule on Twitch, Mina or Norto, somebody on there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, check the schedule. I put the schedule on Twitch. But every day at 6:30 is my Aqidah class. That's the class that's going to help you get back on track. Because that's the class that's going to ignite the fitra within your heart. That's the class that's going to put that fear back in your heart. Okay, he said if he goes away to college, can he shorten? No, let me tell you why. We only combine and shorten when you are a traveler. How does Islam define a traveler? A traveler is a person that leaves their regular place of residence to go to another part of the world that's not part of their residence. The fact that you're living on campus, you're living there, that's your new home. That's just like moving to a new city. So that college campus becomes your place of residence. You got a room, you got a bed, You eat food, bathroom, and all that. That's your home. So no, you don't shorten and combine then, because you're settled. The word is settled. Now, if you were unsettled living out of a hotel, that's different. A person living out of the hotel is not settled, but you're settled. You got your room and all that. That's your home. So you don't shorten and combine then. Okay? Because that has now become your regular place of residence. And the law knows best. Yes.
Sister Laila, what if you went to like Egypt to visit family members for 3 months? Do you shorten your prayers then, or you can?
Are you settled?
You do the regular.
That's what I'm saying. If you're settled, then you don't. If you're traveling, that means I'm living in a hotel out of suit. I'm living out of a suitcase. That's not settled. But if you travel to stay for 3, 4, 5 months, okay, and you got a place to live, you living in your family's house, that's settled. The only time we combine insurance if you're unsettled, you living out of a hotel. But if you living with your family, you got room, you got food, you got tub and warmth, you're settled. So no, you do not shorten and combine there.
What about when you like Egypt is in a different time zone and you
that ain't got nothing to do with it
and all of that? How many days do you have to like?
That it's not based on days. It's based on if you're settled. That's why I was telling y'all this day stuff is not what the prophet said. There's nothing in Islam that says a menses has a certain days. There's nothing in Islam that says a traveler can combine for certain days either. Not from the prophet, not from the companions. We got some hadiths where the companions shortened their prayers and combined for a whole year, but they were not settled. The thing is being settled. If you're settled, who cares about jet lag? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Time zones ain't got nothing to do with nothing either. You know, if you're settled, then that's when you should go ahead and perform your regular prayers. But if you're not settled, you living out of a hotel, living out of a suitcase, living like those companions were out of a tent and ain't got no, that's different. If you guys are settled, then you pray your regular prayers. Y'all understand? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
I have another question. Mm-hmm. What if you have a hairstylist that is a male, but he claims to be a female, but he does your hair? Is that allowed to have a male hairdresser?
The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, any man that touches a woman that is not a mahram to him, it is as if he's holding a coal in his hand, burning it. A hairdresser is not a doctor. A hairdresser is just somebody that combs your hair. I can go next door and tell the man next door, hey, you want to be my hairdresser today? Wash my hair for me. That's haram. As Muslim women, we do not have men touching on us unless it's a matter of life and death. A doctor is life and death. A physical therapist is life and death. An occupational therapist, life and death. A speech pathologist, these are doctors. But just to have a man wash your hair and stuff, that is the same as if you were having sex with him. If you sisters want to get your hair done, you better go to a woman. And there are just as many women that do hair as there are men. So what reason would you have to go to a man anyway? Men do men's hair. Women do women's hair. Even in the prophet's day, exactly. Even in the prophet's day, as the brother here is typing, the men had men that did their hair. Then the women had women. Hairstylists have been around forever. But you cannot have any man touching on you unless he is a doctor, unless it's a matter of life and death. Physicians is it. Everybody understand that? You sisters? Exactly. And if he gay, you shouldn't be dealing with him anyway. Anybody, remember our classes on Wala wal Bara. We distance ourselves from that which opposes Islam. If somebody is a transgender, we don't deal with them at all. Period. We distance ourselves from that. Because you guys know what would happen if they was living in a Muslim country to them. So we don't deal with transgenders at all. Period. Yeah. Exactly, brothers. Good job. Yeah. There's a lot of them that do that. But yeah. Exactly. Like the brother saying, he said he knows some brothers who do that too. He said there's some men that like to go to a female barber. This is haram. Should no woman be cutting your hair for you and combing your beard for you unless it's your wife? That ain't no life and death situation. Yeah, but it's a lot of men doing that, and that's haram. They're going to answer to Allah for that. It's like they fornicating with it. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Did the sister on Twitch understand that she should join my classes? Especially the 6:30 one. And by the way, guys, do we have a Samat tomorrow, guys? Is her class tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Tomorrow we have Dr. Asim's class at 4 o'clock. He's going to be talking about the human thing again. I forgot. That's tomorrow at 4. Then you have my class at 6:30. Yeah. Okay, Sister Akins, she says, years ago, I shortened and combined the prayers around a month when I had to stay with one of my children at the hospital. That's a good way too. That's not settled. You were living in a hospital. That's different. Good job, Akins. That's an example. You could do it for a whole month because you see her situation, Sister Laila? She was staying at a hospital for a whole month with her children. A hospital. She was living out of a hospital. That's not settled. That's not a home. That's not a place to sleep and eat and cook and all of that. So she combined and shortened. Yeah, you could do that. But if you going to stay with your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, that's something different. Yeah. Exactly. Settled. The key word is if you are unsettled.